If you're a Manchester United fan and not looking forward to next season, well, I don't blame you. But here are some reasons why I feel Manchester United will be successful next season. Ruben Amorim has returned back to preseason training with his squad this week. And one thing what a lot of us have noticed is the team is come back a lot leaner. And yesterday we found out that the reason for that is Ruben Amorim and his team did give the Manchester United players specific tailored programs for their fitness, especially to reduce injury. So why is this important now? Well, last season, Ruben Amorim came in sometime in October, November, and it's not easy coming mid-season and trying to implement a style of play which is very different from what our players are used to. And also very different for our players in terms of what they're even capable of. So how will that make a difference this time around? Well, preseason, and if you listen to a lot of ex-players, preseasons are one of the most important things for a player for that season. It prepares them in terms of their fitness, prepares them in terms of being ready for August when the season starts. It prepares them to learn the manager's tactics, but more so than anything else, it prepares them to be able to play the manager's style of football. Well, Ruben Amorim's style is one thing you all do know. 3-4-3, yeah, that's one thing. But the other thing is he likes his players to be very athletic and be able to press a lot. That's why he likes Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes has stamina for days. He can run and run and run and run. But not all of our players can do that. But that doesn't mean they're not capable of doing that. What it just means is they need to learn and train differently. I remember watching Michael Jordan in his documentary, and he had mentioned that when he had gone from playing for the Bulls to the White Sox, so basically went from playing basketball to baseball, he had to change the way he worked out because he had to exercise different muscles that he might need for baseball that he might not necessarily need for basketball. And he had to do the same thing again when he came back to the Chicago Bulls. Now, for Manchester United to be able to play Ruben Amorim's style of play, you'd ask, oh, why didn't he do that in October and November? Well, it's difficult. And it's also very difficult when you have like a season where you're playing Thursdays, weekend, Thursdays, weekend, Thursdays, weekend. At that point, you're not really getting to learn anything else. You're just trying to put together a team to be able to play. And to make things even more bad for us last season, we had a shortened squad. Whereas this time around, the players that have come in, they are going to get a whole preseason, and that is going to make a difference. And Mateus Cunha is there as well, so it will make a difference for us, wherein we will be more ready for this when the season starts. A lot of these players, maybe not all of them, but a lot of these players will be able to play Ruben Amorim's style. Take, for example, Kobe Mainoo. He missed preseason last year and had a really awful season after. Mason Mount, I really hope he does well, but you never know, he might be injured. Luke Shaw is back. You never know, but honestly, I think Luke Shaw is going to be injured maybe for this season when it starts, or maybe 2 games in, he will be injured. So we can't really count on him. But why do I say I feel positive, and why do I feel Manchester United will be successful? First off, we are not going to play like we did last season. We're not going to have that turmoil. If we do have that turmoil, and Ruben Amorim does get sacked, that's a different story. But I don't feel he will get sacked. And the reason for that is Amorim, one thing that all of us know, he's a very stubborn manager. He doesn't care how young he is. He doesn't care who you are. All he cares about is, I'm the head of this team. I'm the manager of this team. You will play how I tell you to play, and you will do what I want you to do. If you're not going to do things that are good for this team, you can leave. And he made that very clear to Garnacho and a few other players. So that's one thing of, like, if you go to see all of the managers that have been successful, Mourinho, Pep, Conte, all of them are very stubborn and they love winning. So what they do is when they come in, they don't let others dictate the dressing room. They do not let others dictate how they're going to play. And Amorim is like that. Now, just because you're stubborn, that doesn't mean you're going to win the title. You have a lot of managers who are like that, who are stubborn, who get what they need done, but they don't necessarily win titles. So is he going to be good enough? That I don't know. But what this means is we're not going to finish 15th for one. And maybe we'll finish 7th and 8th. Now, a lot of you are saying, oh, 7th and 8th is successful now. And it is not. It is not successful for Manchester United, but you need to see where we were. We finished 15th last season, lost in the Europa League final, and we have no money. And a lot of us knew things were going to be bad, but we didn't really realize what bad meant. And now we're noticing the consequences of it, and we aren't liking it, and we're screaming and shouting. But what difference is that going to make? We knew we had no money. However, we have gotten Cunha in. We're looking to get Mbuma in. These 2 signings alone are a big upgrade from what we had last season. At least 20 to 30 goals. That's what the two players will give us, whether through assists, whether directly scoring goals or through assists and indirectly getting goals. So those extra 30 goals definitely should push us above. But again, not as good as we'd like. So we do need more signings. So even though Ruben Amorim is going to take this team and is going to make us play more like what he wants us to play like, we still do need better signings. We still do need better quality, because at the end of the day, these players couldn't play his style last season. They might be able to do it better this time around. However, we do need a lot more signings to start in that team, especially a striker. So given all these things, I do have a very, very strong feeling that Ruben Amorim is going to be a success at Manchester United, and we're going to have a good and decent enough season. So, and by that, what I mean is, we will push for 5th. For all those people who think we're going to fight for the title, that will happen only in your dreams, probably. The chances of that happening are not zero, and the reason for that is Leicester City. If Leicester City could go ahead and win the Premier League, anything can happen. But the likelihood of us, Manchester United, winning the Premier League this season is very low. However, it's not impossible. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Take care and go Manchester United.